unboxing time, been a while. Just got the package in. I've been using the same Upland vest for about the last 7 years, as best I can figure, 6 to 7 years. This is my current Upland vest. It's the Orvis Pro Series vest. You can tell it's got a little bit of wear and tear on it. Still works pretty good. Some of my elastic is kind of wearing out, which would take some refurbishing. It's something that's on my list. I really like this vest. It's been really good for the last 6 years, which is why I haven't switched, and we've tested a lot of them. But one of the viewers suggested that maybe I should check out Marsupial Gear's latest offering, their bird vest. So it just came in the mail, and I thought I'd pull out the old vest and show you what's in it, and then see how that would work in this vest. I'm about to go on another trip, so yeah, we'll see what happens. So I'm just gonna cut right into it. Let's see what we got in here. Hopefully I don't cut it in half. Oh, cool. All right, so no packing, no nothing, just right there. And I noticed when the box came that it seemed like the box was really light, so I'm intrigued. Let's see what else is in it. Oh, that's just an invoice. Okay, away with the box. All right, so here we go. This is Marsupial Gear's version of the Upland vest. Now, they've got a few different iterations of this. One just being the pouch in the back. One being kind of and it's all based off of the belt, which I'm never really sure about the belts. On my existing Orvis vest, it has the structure. I don't generally use the belt. I have it hanging off of my shoulders for the most part. That's the way I kind of prefer. I don't like something tight around my waist when I'm hunting. So this vest comes in multiple sizes, unlike the Orvis vest, which comes in a single size. This vest comes in multiple sizes from Marsupial Gear. I got the large. There's an additional size. Now, I should unload my other vest and just see what the weight is. It feels really light, and the pack itself, the bag, the game bag itself looks really big. So at first take, that's kind of what I'm looking at. I didn't do a whole lot of research. I just went and checked out the vest itself. It's a vest that's made in the USA. I've seen some of Marsupial's other stuff. I think they're known more for where they started was kind of a binoc harness, but everything's based off of this yoke system, and they've got it. You could obviously use the same yoke system for other things, because this vest will detach from here. It's just hooked on there with the webbing, the Molle webbing. So that's what really intrigued me, is there a different way to set this vest up, given the Molle system here. Molle system, that sounds like chicken. Anyways, I'll tell you what, they've got lots of marsupial, and it comes in multiple colors as well. I generally don't like having bright orange on my vest, but I use that because I don't wear a lot of orange underneath, and there are some states that require blaze orange, an amount. And so I utilize that via my vest, which is one thing that I always have on me, generally speaking, unless I'm in the deep backcountry. Sometimes I don't carry my vest, but so this orange was getting a little bit drab. You can kind of see the difference. Not that I couldn't have rejuvenated or couldn't rejuvenate this. And then the other main thing is that this vest, as it sits here, the standard vest with the small, what they call their small shot shell pouches. They have a larger version. I prefer the small because how many shells do you need to carry in at one time? So this, as it sits, runs right around $350 plus shipping. And that was one of the main attractions to the Orvis vest originally, is this vest, you know, right out of the box as it sits, $198. So substantial cost increase. Marsupial is a much smaller company than Orvis, obviously. I'm happy to support smaller companies if they're putting out products that, that I like and that are going to work for me. So real quick, I guess notice that just in hand, it feels very light. So I like that. Weight is not your friend in terms of walking for long distances with a shotgun in your hand. So I like how it feels weight-wise. Construction-wise, sewing-wise, all looks really nice. Got the single belt with the big buckle up front. I'm gonna put it on and adjust it, but I'll show you how my current vest sits on me. So I like that. And then one of the other things that I noticed in their basic information is the straps on the back here have locking straps. So as you adjust them, they've got kind of an additional, let's see if I can get it to adjust for me. They've got a lock that holds it in place so that it won't slip back out under weight. Let me see if I can get it to move. Pull it out of here. So that's one of the things that I really like about that, is that once you get this set up the way you want, in terms of distances on the buckles that they lock, and they've got that extra lock there, I generally ride with my pack pretty high, no matter what the load is on it, because I don't want to feel it flapping off the back of my legs. So I like that, and that was one of the things that told me I should go ahead and get this pack and try it and see if it's going to work as a replacement for my existing Orvis pack. It's got a massive game pouch. I mean a massive game pouch. That's one of the other things we'll go over. But let me show you what my existing vest looks like. The Orvis vest looks like on me. Just so you know, if you've seen my other videos, you probably know, but I can walk you through why this vest has worked for me and why I like it. As you can see, I don't cinch down the waist super tight. I think that just doesn't feel comfortable to me. And the main thing, part of the reason I like this vest is that the pockets are to the sides so they aren't in the way of high stepping when you're going up elevation specifically or through heavy cover. That's one of the reasons I like this vest. The other reason is just the adjustability of it. It feels more like a backpack than a vest. I've got it so that it's sitting on me. Like I said, I keep this pretty high. I keep my shells in this pocket, obviously for reload. I'm a right-handed shooter, so, and I'll show you what else is in the vest. But obviously I have to have a hydration bladder. That's how I water the dogs. I generally do not carry water for myself on hunts that aren't extremely long. I carry as much water as I can for the dogs, so I'm not a water bottle guy for the most part, although occasionally I'll carry one. So that's one of the big differences here, is that there's multiple water bottle carriers in the Marsupial Gear vest. I may take those off, or I might utilize them for something different. We'll see. So, and then normally what I'll do is I'll have my camera back here in one of these pouches, which you would normally use for a water bottle on my Orvis vest. So that's how I wear my Orvis vest. Let me see if I just do a rudimentary setup of this, how I think it would go. Like I said, I like to keep this pretty tight to me, so let me pull this locking strap all the way down. So I like to have that high. I'm gonna have that way high. I don't know if I love the way those straps hang when I have it adjusted that way, but we'll see. So that might end up bothering me, might not bother me at all. This, of course, has a full-size pouch at the back here. I do like zippers as opposed to Velcro, so I like that a lot. It's got an additional Molle system here on the back, which I could add something, but I'm probably not going to. We'll have to wait and see. As well as more to the side. So that's really interesting because it might allow me to move one of these over. Let's just see what it feels like on. I think right now the yoke looks like it's gonna be a little bit, I don't know, we'll see. It's gonna be interesting. Might fit right out the gate. Probably not though. So see what I notice here. So it doesn't, right now, fits pretty close to the way I'm used to. It has kind of that opposite pole on the waist belt. I like that big buckle. It's a good big buckle. Like I said, I generally like that fairly loose. I don't want to feel like I'm constricted there, so I like it hanging from here. I don't want the weight hanging. I don't like a backpack. I don't want the weight hanging on my hips. It's just not the way I roll. I know some people probably like that feeling. I like the feeling of being able to swing freely and not have the vest constrict me in my motion, especially shotgun motion, but also walking motion. So the main thing on these would be, I wonder if there's a way to lock in. I don't love the straps. Oh, I bet I can push the straps behind. Nope, can't push the straps behind. So that will be something I'm going to look at. Main difference here between the existing one is that my Orvis vest, I can tuck these straps behind my pouch, my shotgun pouch right here, shotgun shell pouch. And this has, these straps are loose. Now that's good in that if you're gonna wear different thicknesses of clothing, like if you got a jacket under this, you can adjust this belt, but I don't love the excess hanging. So I may tuck that or find a way to tie that off. Just an initial impression. It might not bother me, probably gonna bother me. That's the thing, when you get used to running the same vest for 6 or 7 years and using it pretty frequently, get used to where things are and how it feels on you. So anytime you switch up, this is one of the primary pieces of gear for all upland hunters, almost all upland hunters. So when you get used to that, switching it up always feels a little strange. Now, the other thing I noticed is these straps here, which adjust where the belt kind of rides and how high it rides on me. I'd probably go a little bit lower than that. I almost wish those were locking straps too, because I have a vision where those probably are going to underweight. They seem to be hanging there. So that's not bad. Although again, I wish I had a place I could tuck the excess. The Orvis vest, although my elastic bands have kind of worn out, the strap that controls the height of your vest right here, or where it fits on you, tucks into this, so it tucks away and it's not hanging. The reason I don't like hanging stuff primarily is when you're walking in cover or any kind of trees or branches, this stuff all gets tangled. It's something that can get tangled up, also get tangled with just your general motion. So that's generally why I like all these straps to have a tuck away. And it's not difficult to make those tuck away. I can probably come up with a solution for that. And even this one, you could probably just tuck it back behind just like that and it would be tucked in. I'm gonna have to screw with my fit on this just to see where I like everything. But really, it feels pretty nice on right now. I can't see so the other thing is this chest strap, although that's pretty good right there. That chest strap seems a tiny bit higher than where I am, but I can adjust it. Obviously, I like that chest strap actually higher than my pec. I like it above, so that's pretty close to where I would probably fit this thing. And then that vest is huge. That game pouch is huge. I'll tell you what, it's a little bit shocking too to have bright orange like that again. When I'm used to my dull orange. So let's just see what happens when I shift everything. I'll move everything over to this pouch. Now, I'm curious if I pull it tighter, what it's going to feel like on me. So that feels pretty good, really, but doesn't have the weight in it. So when I put my weight in, we'll see where we are. All right, I'm going to slide this back off, and I'm going to start transferring my gear. And it'll also give you a look of what's in my current vest. They have this strap on the back, which you could use to possibly tuck something in there. I don't ever envision myself tucking something under that. It's just not a practical place in my mind to have something tucked, because if you're walking in an event that you're walking through cover or something, whatever you have under there could probably get caught up, or you might just walk, and if you don't have it strapped in far enough, like say you put a jacket back there, it's probably coming out at some point. I mean, we cover miles and miles and miles, you're ducking under fence, and that's probably one thing that I'm just not gonna be a huge fan of, is this elastic band back here. That's an easy fix. So right now, I just know right out the gate, based on the way I hunt, that there's no way in hell I'm gonna have this back here and feel comfortable with it back there. Just too much opportunity to get caught up on things, and I go over, under, around fences all the time, and the last thing I wanna do is try and duck under a fence with my vest on and have those lines catch in the barbed wire and basically make me look like a doofus. So that's coming out. I think it's a good idea in principle, but in real world scenario, that's not a good idea. And that just looks much safer and better to my eye. We do have all these straps, and you never know, I might put something back on there. I'm not gonna put this back on there. So yeah, that's gonna go away right now. Again, good idea in theory, maybe if you were hunting in the mountains, but even then I think I'd be hesitant to put something back there, especially a jacket, because I think it's falling out and you don't notice it, and you gotta backtrack to try and figure out where it fell out. So that's not really top of the list. I do like that you can unclip the pouch and it comes wide open. So I like that a lot. I think I'm going to adjust this up a little bit higher too. We'll see. I mean, that could be, let's see what it feels like and what it looks like. So one of the main things I don't want to feel when I'm walking is I don't want to feel that pouch on the back of my legs. That's one of the main things that is a no-go for a vest for me, is I don't want to feel this thing hitting me in the back. It becomes way too annoying. So I'm liking kind of where it feels like it's sitting right now, so I'm going to go with it. But when I look in comparison, but the structure is a little bit different. When I look at the comparison on this yoke to where I have the top of this vest, it's right snugged against. And that's part of the reason I didn't like the Orvis vest in general, is that this is in a locking strap, so it generally tends to ride down. And they all kind of loosen, you have to adjust them. Although that vest has been worn in so hardcore that those straps no longer want to go anywhere. Hey, Rio. So I might, based on where my current one is, I might go ahead and adjust these up a little bit. Let's see. Let's just see where we can take that. I wonder if that'll just, oh yeah, that will pull down. Now these straps have little keepers on them here, so I don't think that you're going to have a problem with them flopping or moving around, and I kind of like where that looks a little bit better right there. Let me see. This is all an experiment, you know. I don't know, this is, because it's the first vest I'm going to be, you know, first time I'm trying this vest, and I've used the same vest for so long, all of this is going to be a little interesting. Try and get that in about the same spot. The other interesting part about Marsupial's system is obviously if I wanted to use this as something other than a bird vest, I can detach the entire bird vest. I'm going to look at that in a second to see what kind of pain that is, how painful it would be to do that. But no, that can't be this. Yeah, I don't have it pulled down enough. That's about right. All right, let's see what that feels like. I'm gonna clip this back in. Let me see what that feels like. Oh, that puts it real high on me. I like that. I like that a lot. That feels better even yet. So without weight in it right now, I'm just gonna check and see what that feels like, where it sits, how the straps feel on me. Yeah, that puts it way up. Now, a lot of guys have issue with whether they can get a bird in without taking the vest off. I'm looking at that right now and going, oh, that's not really a problem, because it's the size of that pouch is massive. So I'm gonna look and see kind of how streamlined I am. Feels very, I mean, it just feels very free, almost in comparison to this one, but that's partly because there's no weight. So let's go ahead and take the things from my Orvis vest and put it in the Marsupial vest and see where we are. And you'll get to see exactly where I am with my gear. Now, this vest also has in the pouch itself, so besides just the big pocket back there, it's got an internal pocket in the game vest, which will be separate from it, where you could stash something. I probably will stash something there. We'll see what I've got in my current vest. And then it's got the water bladder pouch here, which I really like because it's got 2 zippers so you can adjust where you put your hose. So I like that a lot. Material seems like it's going to hold up nicely. A lot of people talk about washing their vest. I don't think we really worry about washing our vest. So right out the gate, let's see what I've got in my vest. Of course, the main thing is, and this is part of the reason I've entertained the idea of swapping from this. Although this is hydration compatible, it's not actually set up as hydration compatible. And so you can see my current bladder, which is a 3-liter bladder, I have to tie it in to get it here, because the hook itself, either you have to hook it around the loop for the buckle here, or you have to let it hang, and neither one of those is ideal to me. So let's see what the difference is over here on the Marsupial pouch, if there's a way to hang this bladder better. And there might not be, but and also see how far down the zipper is inside the game pouch. It's one of the things I dislike about the Orvis pouch, although it's worked okay. And I've made it work, but certainly a smoother solution would be nice. And I use the bladder for my dog water, so 3 liters of dog water. So if I look at how that would set up in the Marsupial pouch, let's see. Okay. Well, right away, I can see that the pocket itself is way deeper, like way deeper. And okay, that's going to be nice. So the pocket is way deeper. That's going to be helpful. Try and get this shoved in there. The pocket itself is way deeper, but here, check this out. We got a little clip. Got a little clip at the top of the pocket itself. So it's going to remain situated correctly because I can clip in. Now, I'm using a Hydro Pack 3-liter with the insulated hose and the valve on the end. Let's see if I can get this thing to unclip and then clip it in. We'll find out how this is going to go. I haven't seen a clip like this before. Oh, that's cool. Will it go in there? Oh yeah, it might. Hang on. So the Hydro Pack doesn't have a hook like a Camelback does. It's got a much smaller attachment point, but it's going to work just fine, I think. Bam. So just like that. Now that's set up. Not going to go anywhere now. And then I can adjust the hose to either side. Obviously, I'm a right-handed shooter, so the hose has to go up the left-hand side of the yoke, over the top. I'll show you why that is in a second. So I take it down the left-hand side. I like that, and immediately goes there. That's going to be interesting, though. So I don't see anything. So normally, what I'm most accustomed to right now is running the hose over my left shoulder. Seems like so that's part of the good thing about having the pocket not be as deep in the Orvis Vest is the hose actually extends further over my shoulder. And if you'll notice, on the Orvis Vest over my left-hand shoulder, I've got straps to run the hose through. Now, because this pocket is so deep and so far down, the hose doesn't run nearly as far. So that'll be interesting to see whether I like that setup or not. And there's no horizontal strap here to strap this in up here. So what that would generally require then is if I could run it out my left, possibly. Let me see if that works down there, which it could work that way. Again, it's all a big change-up, so I don't know. So if I'm going to do that, if I run it out the left down here, is there a place for it to run? As long as it's higher than the dog, it'll be interesting. So that's one thing I'm going to have to work on to see if I like that change or not. Going out the left-hand side, yeah, that works just fine in some ways. And then in other ways, I may not be a big fan of that. It does keep that other shoulder clear, which you could then put a remote on it, possibly. And I could just hang it. I don't generally like anything flopping around. But there's so many loops over here that I can probably find a way to account for that and keep it from flopping too bad. So I'm gonna give that a pass. That's maybe an upgrade, maybe not. We'll have to kind of see how that works. So, but that's the biggest thing right there is one of the biggest things we carry obviously is water for the dogs. I carry 3 liters and then sometimes I'll carry an extra bottle if it's a really dry area. Next thing, hey Ed. Next thing, the back pouches on the Orvis Vest. In this top pouch, I carry, I've got my first aid kit, some Quick Clot, a Lucky Feather, and a fire starter. So those are all things I don't use very often. So on the Marsupial pouch, that's probably the stuff I would put in this top inside. So just swapping from outside to inside seems like the right place for those because the inside pouch I'm not going to access very often. Good place for them. And down here in the main pocket, I've got my rain jacket. This happens to be a Sitka Gear jacket. It's extremely lightweight. I can use it for both rain and wind. It's really just an extra layer in case you get caught out in weather. It weighs next to nothing. So that's probably going to translate to right down here in the back of the Marsupial main pouch. Yeah, I'm holding it back there. I'll probably switch this location. Normally I have that in a different pocket, but that's my snake kit and extra bandage. And then in the Orvis pouch, I've got my game pouch, I've got my gloves. Most of the time I'll be wearing my gloves, but in the event that I don't, I'll throw them in the back. So just throw them in the back there. Seems like a good spot for them for now. And then we're down to, let's do shells. So I keep my shells in my front right pocket. Depends on how I'm hunting, where I'm hunting, how many. Generally speaking, I carry 10 to 12. I think I've got about 20 in here now. Let's keep that the same. I'm gonna go ahead and put them in the right pocket of the, okay, Hawk. I'm gonna put them in the right pocket of the marsupial pouch. So, one thing about the Orvis pouch that I've always liked is it's got a magnetic closure at the top. So it's got this snap, but the truth is I've almost never used a snap because the pocket flaps shut and stays somewhat closed. We've got full-on dogfight going on down here. Ida, go. Get inside. So on the marsupial pouch, there's no magnetic closure and it's just a zipper top. I don't know if I'll love that because these shells are expensive, as everybody knows, and you don't want to lose them when you're in the field. So we'll just see how well I like that. It's also got a little zip pouch on the inside, which I like that because I like to have a secure place to put my keys. That's the last thing I always do. So yeah, we'll see if we like the depth of that pouch and whether it holds shells effectively or not. I don't know if you can see, but I had a hawk friend yesterday that killed one of my pigeons, and he's back today. He's trying to get back in. See him? You ain't getting in today, buddy. I locked you out. Action for the middle of the video. He came back. You better watch yourself, Budro. Okay. So we've got our shells in. Let's go to the opposite side. Opposite side generally is where I don't keep much. If I'm carrying something extra, I keep my hemostats, porcupine coils, et cetera, and that's generally where I keep my additional easy access first aid stuff. Sometimes I'll put some Benadryl in this pocket as well. So let's go ahead and put that in the left-hand pouch. Really what I'll end up using that for is my keys and just these few items. I'll put my license in there, depending on what state I'm hunting in. So there you go. I think that's got everything from the... So my Orvis vest, my 7-year-old Orvis vest, is now empty. Marsupial vest is loaded. Feels about the same weight really as the old vest. So really I'm just gonna have to get used to the new function and see if I like it. Those loose belt ends probably are gonna bother me, I can tell, so I'm gonna have to find a way to secure those. Chest strap still feels about right. I like the way the weight's kind of carried right now. I might tighten these just a tad bit more. Now it just comes down to how, to fine adjustments. I think that I like that a little bit lower. So yeah, I'll have to see. I mean, it's just gonna be strap adjustment now, whether I want this higher or lower and how I get it to stay a specific way for me. Anytime you add weight to the back, i.e. birds, it's also gonna change kind of the way the pouch rides. That feels about right though. This could be a little bit tighter probably. I may, see if it feels like it's riding a little higher on me right now than my Orvis vest, and that's just a factor of whether I like it there over time or whether I don't. Let me see, and here's kind of where I decide on that, and this is the, so I call it T-Rex arms. A lot of vests will have pockets that are too tight to your body and too high, so you can't get to your shell pouch easily. So that's really going to be the deciding factor on where this rides for me, is where the shell pouch is. Right now, I call it a little high, so I'm probably going to drop everything down just a little bit. I don't know if I'll do that with the fronts. Probably do it with the fronts right here. So I like that because it's an easy adjustment right here. It drops that down immediately. Yeah, that's about right. So the other big thing is, obviously, is once you get a new vest and you get set up in a new vest, I want to get this totally dialed in, which I'll fit it to me the way I want. I'll get the straps exactly the way I want them, and then and probably tied down. So I'll need to get holders for these, or elastic, or even a rubber band, just to hold these loose straps, because I hate loose straps. I hate anything flapping around me. But I think it looks pretty good. And then the other thing I'll decide is do I want to keep these here, because I don't use them, the water bottle holders. I might keep this water bottle holder if it'll hold my camera, but probably what I'll end up doing is putting my camera mount back here so that I can just reach behind, and then I'll take one of these off and then have a spare. So I think that's probably the way I'm going to go. But anyways, there you go. We've unboxed the Marsupial Gear bird vest. And now it's just a matter of getting comfortable with it and seeing how I shoot with it on. That'll be the real trick. I'll give you the update after I get all that done. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. More gear reviews coming, and I might actually post some live video from the upcoming trip. We'll see.